Hello everyone and welcome to Zeepkist Cup of the Day. For those of you who don't know how this works, we get 10 minutes to practice a map we have never seen before, after which there will be 2-minute elimination rounds where the slowest players get eliminated. This week we have a map by agix. So agix could be anything, honestly. As Sandals said a few minutes before Cup started, I hope it's not a slow map. And it seems it's fairly slow. We're gonna be picking up some speed. Too much speed. I've fallen. Outer tube. Oh no. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty slow ending also. So agix, like I said, a few different styles that he generally maps in. They're usually on the trickier end of tracks. And he is a bit of a slow speed connoisseur. The outer tube concerns me a little bit. It's not the worst outer tube though. Oh, little jump at the end. I could see that turn being tricky with speed. Not bad though, it's actually fairly simple. It's just like 1 or 2 turns that you have to set up for a little bit, and a couple of drop downs like this one right at the beginning that could be rather significant for speed saving. That was a nice line, the high jump there. Yeah, it's gonna be mostly about saving speed on these jumps, I think, trying to get super smooth landings. And then just how wide do you want to set up for that turn? There's a little jump there also. It's going to be weird to get a good landing. I don't think you're really going to be getting so much more speed at the end of this track that that final turn is going to be too much of a problem. But we'll see. Yeah, it's definitely... I would still say it's, well, actually, I would not say really that it's a slow speed map. The very start is slow speed, but it speeds up. It's mid speed. Yeah, I think that's really the big turn on this track. The jumps are going to matter even more, though, because that's where the speed actually comes from. It's just that turn is such a strange risk-reward, because the wider you set up, the longer it's going to take to do the turn. But you just don't want to fall off the track, which is absolutely going to happen if you do not set up for it. All the speed, though, is really in, like, 3 jumps at the beginning. I think it starts with this drop down, getting a good landing, kind of middle left side of the track. High jump here. Is really good. It's just pretty much a straight line. Oh, that was a little bit too much. And then this jump, I think, just a nice smooth landing. Not like that. I think it's basically those 3 drop downs determines just about everything. Doing this little rollover without getting airtime. I want to look a little bit closer at that turn too, just see what the road is doing, because there could be some speed conservation involved with how you take it. Okay, maybe that turn is going to become a problem. Maybe it's a steering limits moment. Disturbin will be upset. Okay, so there's a little protector piece there that kind of continues the slope of the track. This is such an interesting piece. This is what I wanted to look at, because this piece right here is flat on this side, but sloped on the edge, which means the earlier, or like the further to the right side you both enter and exit this piece, the more speed you're going to lose, because it's not smooth. It's not as smooth at that end. So you do want to get more to the left, I think, for speed conservation. It's an interesting little mechanic there. Soman also sets up super wide, so I think that's not much to worry about. Yeah, that should be smoother, and I expect my speed to be up. It's alright. I mean, my speed splits have been down compared to my PB recently. So the fact that that was still green, I guess, is proof. I should check if that decorative border of the finish is tangible or not, because I might just be taking the finish too high. Definitely want to be at like 91 speed for the first checkpoint. How much lower am I allowed to be here? Well, the lower you are, the worse that turnaround is. So that was -2 at the checkpoints, now -3.4, probably because I got that really bad bump. It is tangible. Good to know. Definitely a bunch of, I think, unique lines on this map, which is kind of cool to have to figure out. So wider setup, I think, means you can take this turn better, get better transitions at the end of the turnaround. Yeah, and have green speed now. So I do think that matters a little bit. Oh, that turn, it's just about committing to turn in on time. Because this turn, it's not a hard turn, but the problem is if you turn in too early, you hit the inside wall, bounce out into the right wall, and if you turn in too late, you might not have the traction to actually make it without hitting the outside wall. It's not a tough turn, but if you mess up the timing of it, it could look tough. It's not the easiest turn either. You absolutely could skid out there if you try a little bit too hard. I was the furthest to the left I've been on the turnaround, and I'm up even more speed, yeah. I wonder if I can get away with 70% steering limit. I'm at like 65 on that final turn, or the final significant turn. As with all tracks, it's kind of a case of minimal steering is going to be the fastest. Minimal steering and smooth landings on the jumps is going to be what makes you the fastest. Except for this turnaround, where maximum steering is good because you get less of a bounce. But that does create a couple of interesting spots for sure. Okay, 70 is not a free win. I think 60 is not going to be enough. Author time is a 40.6, which agix does definitely grind his author times. And we are not that close. I'm actually in third, which is pretty nice. I wonder if there's something about where you drop off of this first platform. Because you could drop... Oh yeah, that felt much better. It's still -1.4. You can kind of choose whether you drop right tires first or left tires first. That's better. This is the spot I was talking about minimal steering, because you do have to do like a little bit of a counter steer just to make sure you don't get airtime on that sort of small hump rollover. I guess I'll take this run to the end. Okay, pretty solid turn. I could see this being a stress test for my thumb. Yeah, pretty solid start speed again. I'm not too concerned about that then. Zoman breaks sub 41 at the end of warmups. Zoman's a pretty good slow speed player. Current Cop also up there, 4th place. Wow, the times are so close actually. Look at all these low point ones. Current Cop, Quick Racer, Mackie. That's some company to be in. Elimination rounds, bottom 6 or however many DNF get eliminated. Good first transition, 91 speed is nice. Okay, yeah, very good run so far. Nice wide setup so that I can make that turn. A little bit wide in the middle of the corner, but nice inside line for the end of the corner. Down a little bit of speed. Yeah, I think I just overdid it a little bit in the middle of the corner. And just don't mess up the end. Easier said than done. I think I can be very consistent with the point ones, but I also think that's not where this is headed by the end of it. I think we're going to need to be sub 41. This start is very intriguing now. Because of what I said about what side do you jump from. It's a very, very minute change in line, but it could make a big deal for that first landing. And as I keep saying, it's these 3 jumps that are all the speed. That was a beautiful low jump. And as you can see, I am up more than 1 speed. Kinda lost it, yeah. Little bit too far to the inside on corner entry. I think that was doable with that line. Ah, okay. Record in the first round, 0.95. Okay, never mind that. I'm happy to be up here competing with the Big 3 and the Big 3's Kryptonite just behind. It's a pretty solid spot to be. Sterben with a 2-cup active win streak, actually, because not counting one that he didn't play between the 2, he has won the last 2 that he's played. Obviously, Zoman, Current Cobb, Maki, the notorious Big 3, always people to keep an eye on. Sandals tends to do well on tracks like this. Also, he was up in 2nd at the end of the warm-up round, I think. Oh, this is not my best run. I'm just kind of taking a time, though. I don't know where the reset point is. This is such a short track, actually. You could probably reset pretty late. Okay, plus 0.4 after like 1 turn. That was a nice line, also very minimal steering. Could have been a lower jump. It almost feels like that jump matters so much more than anything else on the track. Yeah, and the reset point is after the difficult turn. Current sub 41 this time. That's 0.5 that time. It's hard to tell because of the distance between checkpoint 1 and 2. It's kind of hard to gauge where I'm actually gaining or losing time in here. Because I don't know if it's a matter of my line here, which I don't think can change the speed very much. It seems like it's that jump up right before checkpoint 2. When I hit that jump super low, I got a ton more speed. We're getting a couple DNFs per round here. Our tube knocked out, unfortunate. I'm not expecting very many DNFs though, and in fact there have not been very many DNFs. Only 2 DNFs in the first round is a rarity in Cup of the Day. Yeah, I just need to figure out what the deal is with speed at checkpoint 2. Is it the low jump thing? Or is it something else? I'd like to be doing better than point 2. Thought I was consistent with the point 1s. I'd like to get back there. I'd really like to be getting sub 41. But nobody's doing that consistently yet. Could be a jump angle thing also, going earlier or later. I can wait till the next checkpoint to reset. See my speed here. It is up speed, but it's down 2/10. That, I don't think that's gonna make a difference at the end of the track. A little bouncy, the landing there. It is weird how my PB just has, like, way more speed at this checkpoint 2 jump. Oh, round. Don't think jumping early is good. Jump too late, and I think you're just gonna over jump a clean landing massively. Aki gets a 0.7. That is quite fast. Round and Kern Cobb tie also 100th ahead of me. It's very tight. This top 8, I guess, top 9. I don't even know where to stop counting for how close some of these times are. For now, we're kind of chilling there. Not really any threat of any of the big names getting eliminated. Might be a boring next few rounds as I'm just trying to learn the lines a little bit better. That was a nice low jump and I have good speed again. Super inside line. Let's see if that pays off or not. It kind of pays off. I was a little bit late. Steering was weird, but I think that plus 0.6 is good. Yeah, and I'm still up speed. Kind of missed the apex on the final corner, so it's not going to be a PB. It is going to be first place for the moment, though. It seems like being able to keep this 0.0 pace has been enough to be at least podium positions. It does tend to be people getting into the 40s every single round, but it's a different selection of people, so nobody's consistent with it yet. Ooh, wait, is this good? Yeah, this is good. Okay, I think I understand. I get the map. I think it has to do with how much you're turning. I will explain in a moment. Whoa, that is actually hugely up in speed. Better final corner as well, very close to both inside and outside walls. Nice, okay. Soman, everybody keeps going faster. The key is not turning. Like I say every week, and I've said already today, less turning is better. And when you get to this spot here, you want to basically not turn. You want to use that banking to do the turning for you. So when you make that jump up, you're actually almost not touching anything. Just a little arms up to flatten the car. But I think that's the key there. I was trying too hard to find setups or a direction to jump. Where on the road piece am I going to jump? Well, the key is just don't touch anything. Let the road do all the work. Don't do any other work yourself. It might have been a bit early. Let's see what the speed is. Yeah, it's down a little bit. You do have to turn enough to get at least set up for the jump. Just not getting good landings at the beginning. I can see why everybody else is being inconsistent also. So here, just very tiny bits of turning. Keep the car kind of straight. A little bit high on that jump. It's probably where I lost some of that speed. And here, keeping it to the left side so that you get better transitions at the bottom of the hill. That section is always awkward still, which is unfortunate. Another 41-0 though. I'm not as happy with that as I was going to say after seeing the leaderboard. Seems like a lot of people are getting fast. This is going to get interesting towards the end though, because it seems like there's a lot of people capable of doing the times that would be needed to win. It's going to be very much about who manages to extract a couple thousandths of a second more than somebody else in the rounds that matter. I'm just getting sloppy at the beginning. Just need to clean that up a bit. Taking a quick peek at the records whenever they load. It's still Mackie ahead of Zoman, both of them with pretty solid .7s. That was the final round of 6 eliminations. 4 eliminations now. I kind of think anyone in the top 10 is just pretty solid. You probably won't see any surprise eliminations. But once we get to the top 10, I think that's where this kind of becomes anybody's game. Okay, I don't think that camera made that easier. Nice final corner. It's not going to really make up a whole lot of what I had lost up to that point, though. And first runs this time is not a single sub 41 on the board. It's interesting how inconsistent people have been. Zoman gets one now. And to be fair, when I say inconsistent, I'm talking a tenth or two. Like, it's not massive amounts of inconsistency. But it is kind of a big deal because 1/10 of a second could be many spots on the leaderboard. It seems like the times have been super duper close on this track. That was a nice inside line there. That was not the direction, St. Nick. Somehow up speed, even though I thought, kind of a messy landing. 0.89, not quite a personal best, but close. I'm happy if I'm doing sub 41s for sure. Definitely 0.8s feel quite good. This whole top 10, really. I think it's kind of the top 8 that we're seeing right here have been pretty consistently the top 8. Sturban might be starting to fall back a little. I thought he might be in the running after the warm-up round, but I think he's been more towards the edge of that top 8. But those are kind of the names we're seeing switch positions with each other every single round. Super low. Not the greatest speed, though. Nice inside line. I might have oversteered a little bit. Yeah, don't have great speed. I think I turned too much. I think my PB just has a bad landing there or something, or I'm hitting that last checkpoint differently because I'm consistently up speed. Not that it seems to matter much after the final corner. Be nice. I wish there was a checkpoint like here so that I could judge what I'm doing before this jump, because like now I'll never know if that was nice. Just enough time to complete this run if it's good. It's not. Okay, not enough time to complete this run, but I need to figure out this beginning. Just a really weird start. Yeah, and I'm down a little bit of speed again. My PB definitely is cooking. The CP1 to CP2. It does seem to get a little slower in the 4 to 5, 3 to 4. I don't know how many CPs there are. Yeah, it's I think not quite the same top 8. I think it's sandals instead of pants. Different form of clothing. Quick Racer just barely snuck through in 20th that time, and he's not one of the ones I've been seeing in the top 8, which is interesting because I usually think he does well on slow speed tracks, contrary to what his name would imply. Oh, brushed the wall. Still a 0.9. That probably could have been PB if I had a cleaner end. Still, that's good if I can make a mistake and get a 0.9 out of it. A little bit down speed, but honestly, when I'm like within 1 speed at checkpoint 2, it feels pretty good. Just because my PB seems so good at the start. Speed at the final checkpoint is definitely going to vary based on at what point you turn into the final corner. So that's probably why we're constantly seeing green speed there. It's just a different line than what I'm taking compared to my PB. Sturbin without a time at the moment is interesting. Also Malio and Stick. Without time, Sturbin does set a time. Oh, that's nice. No, it's not, I guess. I don't entirely understand what's happening. Plus Micron is out. It looks like Malio last second is gonna snipe out Mew. Mew ping knocks it 2 plus Micron. Eliminated 41.6. Oh, Quick Racer. Okay, reverse Castro curse. Quick Racer goes fastest with a 0.74. I think the second fastest time put down the entire cup. From last to first. Well done. That felt like a weird angle. Yeah. Top 16... I don't know, like I keep saying, it's kind of that top 8 that seems consistent. There's few enough players left that I kind of think I should start trying to get good times. 16 is always an interesting round too, because it's still 4 eliminations, which is a lot of eliminations for how few players are left. Alright, I was kind of pointed too far to the right, but it's still really good speed at that checkpoint. And that checkpoint. I missed the apex for the final corner. It's too bad, but this is still a good run. Sub 41, that's solid. That's only 8th, actually, so I was right about needing to get good times. That next bunch of players might be a little bit slower, though. It's like 41.3 currently. It might be a 0.2 by the end of this. Sandals sets a 0.7 this time. It's different people setting the 0.7s every round. That's kind of been the story of this cup. Nobody is that consistent. It's always somebody else leading, and Zoman sets record now with a 0.70. That is quite fast. Zoman ahead of Sandals, Mackie, Shattersmith, Quick Racer, Pants, Kerncob, Sturbin. I mean, those are all... Everybody sub 41 has a chance to win this cup. Minkus, Stick, Zodiac, and Round eliminated. So 2 eliminations now, and it's... I mean, are 40s necessary? Probably not this round, but at what point do they become necessary? Are people consistent enough to get 0.9s every round? Was that round a bit of an oddity in that sense? Felt a little awkward. It's good speed though. The wall on the right. 41-0 should be safe this round, I think. I mean, not necessarily, but I would bet on it being safe. Well, that was an unfortunate bounce. That was almost a really good start. Still don't really know what I'm doing well or not well in the first couple corners. Probably not my best jump. Yeah, I'm a little bit down in speed. Oh, that was a weird ending. Wait, that was like really good. I actually thought I was gonna clip on that final landing. That was incredibly smooth. Maybe I shouldn't be jumping at all. Maybe I should be just driving off the bottom of that. That seems like it worked really well. It's going to be Alex and Sandals. So Sandals at the 0.7 last time, out this time at the 0.3. That's how this cup has been going. That's why I really feel like we need to be getting good runs. It was only 6 people with a sub 41 this time. At this point, though, I would say anything 41 or higher is not safe. Not a guaranteed elimination, but certainly not safe anymore. Ah, I got a little risky. I still have time for 2 runs at least. It's just really uncomfortable how long you have to wait to get into this turn. Always kind of a high jump. Because you're staying high for so long, like it feels like surely you must be losing time by doing that. Then as soon as you go more to the inside, you don't make that corner. This is not a great run, although the times on the leaderboard are not incredible right now either. Surely Zoman's gonna go faster than that, though. I mean, this is not safe at all. A little bit high. Better jump. Nope, I guess not. Just kidding. Two people without times, both of them could definitely go fast here, so still really trying to get an improvement, even though it seems unlikely. Yeah, 1.7 is not an improvement. Here comes Zoman. Zoman does go faster, but I get a little bit of a break there with the Shattersmith DNF. Void and Shattersmith 9th and 10th. And here we are. This is the top 8. I've been saying all cup long the top 8. Admittedly, this is not exactly the 8 players that I had in my top 8 when I kept saying that. 'Cause I think it was kind of Quick Racer came in, might have been Sandals dropped out. There's been a little bit of variation. But this has kind of been the number of sub 41s we've been seeing the entire cup. So at this stage, I think every single round is dangerous for every single person. I was hoping for better speed. Generally, okay, this is just not good. Doesn't even matter that I'm that close to the end, because I'm pretty sure that time is just out. Really good first transition that I threw immediately. Only one person has taken their first run, and it's not even a fast run. Nice. I thought that'd be a little closer to PB. A little bit wide on the turnaround, just playing it a little bit too safe, I think. Let's not go for any shenanigans here. Nice last turn. Oh, it kind of tapped the wall. It'll be close. Yeah, it's close, alright. 41-0 is not enough. Here comes Sturbin. It did not look like the cleanest landing, but he is a fast player. Does he knock me out? No, he doesn't, so I was right. That was not a good landing. Malio last second could... Oh, Malio hits the wall. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Unfortunate for Malio. Okay, that was intense. But as I would have expected, 41's absolutely not going to cut it anymore. Was that the two fastest times? Yep. The first 2.6s, both set in the previous round. Maki and Pants. Okay, a little bit down in time, but the speed is good at least. Speed, I think, is bad there because of how much I turned. The 0.8 stays, I guess, but that's not terrible. Yeah, I was just late turning in. Still not too bad. Well, 41 is not good. At least it's only one elimination in this round. That's kind of maybe the one saving grace. Both Pants and Zoman slower than me at the moment. I guess we'll take this. I'm not sure if that was a good second transition. Nice low jump, but my speed and my time is just not good. Oh, I think I actually tapped the wall. Not gonna be an improvement. Here comes both Pants and Zoman. I could get double sniped here. That's one snipe. That's not Zoman, actually. This is Zoman. It's gonna be a real snipe down to the last second. Lots of 8s on the leaderboard up there. Quick Racer, Maki, and Pants. Current Cop just 100th ahead of me, and I'm afraid that's going to be the difference as Zoman comes in for his improvement. Yep, knocks me out. 100th the difference, and 6th place. That is kind of unfortunate. I thought I had a real chance here. Wasn't really in it to win after the first few rounds. I had a very solid start in Elimination Rounds, which is unusual. Wasn't necessarily in it for the win, but I felt like I had more than 6th place I could have done. Well, definitely the fact that there's still many of us doing 41s is evidence that anyone that gets knocked out definitely has more in the tank. Top 5 though, Quick Racer, Maki, Pants, Zoman, Kern Cobb. Solid group of players. Pants, the only non-Cup of the Day winner. Has a tendency to get 3rd place, so keep an eye out for that curse. I'm not the only one that's cursed, and in fact I avoid my 4th place curse, so not all is bad. These 3 taking their first runs all the way to the finish. I think Quick Racer sets the fastest time. I thought he had the slowest looking ending, but he must have had a very strong start to go with that. All .8s is kind of crazy. The fact that .885 is potentially in the danger spot right now, especially with Mackie and Kerncobb being the ones without times. That is absolutely insane. And Mackie also sets a 0.8, is 1,000th behind Zoman, and I mean, that could be a massive 1,000th of a second at the end of this round. Kerncobb resets, though. I guess, sees the 0.8s and knows that that was not it. So this is a big, big run from Kerncobb. Okay, clean. It was sketchy, but clean. No steering at all. That is pretty solid. Very late jump up. Let me just see what Pants is doing. Pants is hitting the finish. So no improvement from Pants. 0.885 is the target Kerncobb has. I know he's set faster than a 0.8 in the past, but people have been inconsistent in terms of getting sub 41s, especially as fast as a 0.8. A little bit of a high jump at the end. Kind of missed the apex to the final corner. Is that going to make a difference? It does. 0.135. I also noticed Kerncobb doing the 60% steering limit in the last corner, which I think is a disadvantage because you definitely need like 65 there, but steering limits don't go in 5s. So Kerncobb eliminated in 5th, the most winningest Cup of the Day player. It's knocked out. Still have Mackie, the second most winningest Cup of the Day player. Zoman, the third most winningest. Quick Racer rising up the ranks rather quickly. And Pants, can he make it past 3rd place? Very inside line from Pants. Gets him out to the front in this round, but he might have less speed. No, he still looks good, actually. Oh, Quick Racer, that was not a good landing. Yeah, he's going to reset, similar to my run. The round I got eliminated where he just couldn't take that. 6.95 from Pants, yeah. A very nice inside line here. I was kind of talking about that one earlier, too, like how staying high for so long just feels like you're losing time. And I think that was the difference. Pants was just a little bit less high up the road, and that mattered. He was able to get more speed in just a shorter line around this corner, arguably the trickiest turn on the track. Quick Racer resets again. Pants following Zoman and Mackie. Zoman with the 0.9, definitely not a safe time anymore. Mackie a little bit lower also, so Pants is so low around that corner. Wow, and he does make it work. Quick Racer also very low, so actually maybe I was just going too high the whole time. That's on me for just missing that, because I even called it out. Does Quick Racer have the pace? He seems to be struggling with this ending. That wasn't too bad. Very nice final corner. Tiny improvement from Zoman. Is it enough? It's not, as Quick Racer gets the snipe. A bit spread out across the leaderboard this time. 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. And Zoman eliminated 2 of the big 3 knocked out. We have had 3 cups in a row not won by the big 3. I believe 4 in a row might be the all-time record. We are pushing, thanks to Aspoon for doing even more stats than even I keep track of. Pretty cool to have that, though. Quick Racer with the early reset. Mackie loads in so late, it's kind of hard to watch multiple of them at the same time. So this is the spot, yeah, you can see just such an inside line. Go over to Mackie, similar line. Yeah, gets out of the corner well. 113 speed. Quick Racer resetting still. Does still do the jump there, that makes sense. Nice landing at the end. Pants a little bit wide, went a bit to the left. That might be the difference, as both of them are 41s. I mean, that's just the inconsistency that I keep talking about. It's only a couple tenths of a second, but it's pretty massive on this track. And for Pants, from the previous round, that is half a second that he has lost. And this is his cursed 3rd place round. He's never made it to a finals despite having 6 3rd place finishes. We'll see if he can make an improvement, if Quick Racer can beat him here. Quick Racer always looks the shakiest off of that final drop down. Very nice last corner though. Quick Racer goes fastest with the 40.9, but you gotta think that's not necessarily safe with the final runs coming in. Pants, how well does he get the final corner this time? Pretty good, still a little bit to the left. It could be better, but not bad. 0.98. Oh, is that safe? I don't think it is. Mackie, 0.8. Pants gets knocked out, and it's another third place finish for him. Insane ending there with the snipes. Quick Racer improving to first. Pants improving, but not enough to pass Quick Racer, and that ends up being massive as Mackie beats both of them. And now it's going to be just Mackie versus Quick Racer in the finals. Mackie with 35 Cup of the Day wins, Quick Racer with 6 Cup of the Day wins. A little bit of a difference there, but Quick Racer's still very fast. That's nothing against Quick Racer, just the consistency of Mackie. Mackie does load in very slow, which may be a little bit of a disadvantage. Oh, both reset immediately. Mackie resets again just right off the bat. Quick Racer resets again. This is somewhat of a Quick Racer special, more in the Petite Cup side rather than a normal Cup of the Day, but the first transition reset forever. Mackie's also doing it this time though. Finally, we see somebody make it significantly past the first checkpoint. Quick Racer, the jump up 114 is pretty solid speed there. Goes a tiny bit higher, I think, than he has in previous rounds. It's a little bit safer, but probably not too much of a difference. Mackie's still resetting at the beginning, 115-ish, as Quick Racer dropped into the outer tube. Oh, wow, very low landing, but that might be good. I had pretty good speed when I did that line. Quick Racer seems fast at the end here. He's falling off the edge, though, and he crashes into the finish pole. Too aggressive on the very, very final maneuver of the map. Still resetting back at the beginning. Both of these players need to take these runs. Quick Racer with the big fumble on the last run. A lot of pressure on now. Any crash at this point is a DNF. Any jump too low is a DNF in the finals. We haven't had a double DNF in the finals in over 100 cups. It doesn't look like these players are going to let it happen this time, but, I mean, Quick Racer, do you have to go safer now on the ending because you don't have that time? That's a very nice line again. He does that low transition with basically no jump, but he hits both walls, the inside and the outside. It's not clean from Quick Racer at all. 40.9 still, even with those mistakes, but Mackie does not make those mistakes. Mackie looks fast. 0.8 from just Mackie. What would Quick Racer's time have been if he did not hit that pole? Just Mackie gets the win. Win number 36 for him. Second place number 16 for Quick Racer. Congratulations, Mackie. Crazy finals, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see all my stats and results, I always post the link to my spreadsheet in the description below. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.